Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so if you're a startup founder, particularly in SaaS or maybe AI, you might be feeling this visibility paradox.
Mm.
You're pouring money into content, SEO articles, trying all the old Google tricks, but you still feel invisible.
Yeah.
And worse, maybe competitors who seem less active, they're the ones popping up in AI answers.
It's a huge frustration, and it's very real for a lot of companies right now. The old playbook keywords, backlinks, it's just not delivering like it used to.
Why is that? What's fundamentally changed?
Well, the whole way we find information online has shifted massively. We've gone from search, getting a list of 10 blue links, to more of a suggest or recall model.
Oh, like ChatGPT, Bard,
Mhm.
Claude. They give you an answer, not just links.
Exactly. And here's the crucial part for founders. Those AI models. They're answering based on what they sort of internally know or remember. It's not always about a live web crawl for every query.
So if the AI hasn't learned about your brand, hasn't seen it cited as credible,
Then you're basically a ghost. You're not in its memory, not part of the knowledge graph it uses. You won't get suggested.
okay, so that really sets our mission for today's deep dive. We need to unpack this new currency, brand entity authority.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just publishing. It's about getting your expertise genuinely embedded, right, into that digital knowledge graph.
Precisely. It's about becoming the default answer, the name the AI recalls in your specific niche.
So the core idea is visibility is kind of fading, and memory is what matters now.
That's the essence of it. If your brand isn't seen as a citable entity, you're invisible where it increasingly counts. So we'll walk through a framework, the ACE framework, to build that entity status.
All right, let's get into this great shift. You're saying algorithms see brands differently now, not just keywords on a page.
Yeah, they see brands more like, well, like nouns, entities, things that exist and are connected to other things by signals of authority.
And those signals aren't just backlinks anymore.
Not primarily. It's more about contextual mentions.
Oh.
Where does your brand name appear? Is it on high authority sites? What's the context of that mention? That's what the algorithms are weighing up.
So for, say, a SaaS founder listening, if they haven't actively built this entity,
Then, when a potential customer asks an AI for recommendations in their field, their brand simply won't be part of the conversation. The machine effectively doesn't know they're a credible player.
okay, we can already see winners and losers emerging from this shift. Who's getting it right?
Well, HubSpot is a prime example in the marketing space. They dominate AI answers for marketing questions.
Ow.
It's not just good SEO. They've made really strategic investments in getting cited, specifically getting dense citations from high authority places like .gov and .edu sites. Those are massive trust signals for AI.
Right, and it's not just B2B software, is it? Like Tesla.
Tesla's everywhere in EV answers. That comes from being deeply integrated into knowledge bases. Think Wikidata, Wikipedia, plus tons of academic and scholarly references. They became an entity associated with innovation.
Okay, you mentioned Nike, too, for shopping results.
Yeah, Nike uses schema markup really effectively. That structured data on their web pages. It makes their products and brand info super easy for machines to read and understand. So they pop up reliably in AI-generated shopping suggestions.
So who's getting left behind then? You mentioned Ryanair as an example.
Ryanair is interesting. They rank well in classic Google search for things like cheap flights, great traditional SEO,
What?
but they rarely get mentioned by AI assistants when you ask conversational questions about travel planning. Why? Their entity authority is weak.
How so?
They lack those high authority citations we talked about, and their use of structured data, the schema markup, is apparently quite poor. So the machine knows the words Ryanair cheap flights, but doesn't recognize Ryanair as an authoritative entity to recommend in a broader travel context. It's like a house of cards built on keywords.
Got it. So this is clearly way more than just a technical SEO tweak. It's a core growth strategy.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Research shows something like 75% of B2B buyers start their journey with educational content. If your brand is the recognized entity providing that trusted content,
You win their trust early,
yeah,
before sales even gets involved.
exactly. And there was more data. Over 2/3 of C-suite execs said really strong thought leadership content made them rethink their existing vendors.
Wow, so a smaller, authoritative startup could actually displace a big incumbent.
Precisely. By owning the expertise, owning the narrative, and there's a financial angle too.
Right, you mentioned that. How does entity authority impact funding or sales cycles?
Well, strong entity authority signals credibility and stability. It builds trust faster, which can shorten sales cycles. And for investors, it suggests you have a clear vision and market validation. It can genuinely lead to higher investment valuations. It's pre-selling trust.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense. Let's get practical then. How do we build this?
Yeah.
You mentioned the ACE framework.
Yeah,
Phase 1 is analyze and architect.
that's right. First step, lay the groundwork. We need to be clear on what we mean by entity authority.
Let's define it simply.
Okay. It's basically how credible and relevant your brand is perceived to be for specific topics by both people and algorithms. The goal is clarity and specificity. You want the digital world to consistently recognize you as, say, Acme AI, the trusted marketing automation tool for e-commerce, not just, some software.
And you said there are 3 pillars for getting machines to recognize you like that.
Yep, 3 core pillars. First is citation density. Getting mentioned frequently, but importantly, in high-authority, relevant sources. Think quality over just quantity. One mention in a major industry journal beats 10 random blog comments.
Okay, pillar 2.
Structured data. This is the technical side. Using schema markup, things from schema.org, maybe getting into Wikidata. It's literally formatting your information so machines can understand it unambiguously.
And the third?
Ecosystem alignment. This means being absolutely consistent everywhere. Your name, your logo, your descriptions, they need to match across all the different databases and platforms where your brand exists.
Hang on. Ecosystem alignment. What does misalignment look like? Can you give an example?
Oh, it's super common. A founder might launch a product, let's call it Insight Flow, but maybe the press release says Insight Flow AI, the Crunchbase profile has Insight Flow Analytics, and the website schema is missing key details.
So the algorithm gets confused.
Exactly. It sees potentially 3 different things and struggles to consolidate the authority signals. And we know brands that show up consistently in at least 3 major data sources. Think Wikipedia, Wikidata, Crunchbase, industry directories were like 5 times more likely to get recommended by AI. Consistency is crucial.
Okay, that makes the first practical step really important, the audit. What should listeners do first?
First, audit your own presence. Just Google your brand name. Do you see a knowledge panel on the right? That box with key facts? Do you have a Wikipedia page? Check your backlinks or you mention on reputable sites. This gives you a baseline. If those things are missing, you know where the gaps are.
Then what?
Then map your entities and topics. Define your battlefield. Don't try to own a huge topic like artificial intelligence. Pick a specific niche you can realistically dominate, like AI-driven compliance for banks. And be ruthlessly consistent with naming your company, your products, key people. Stick to one name.
And the architect part.
That's about setting a clear strategy for that niche. Set measurable goals, not just grow traffic. Think. Get 10+ citations from .edu or top news sites this year, or secure a knowledge panel for our CEO. Specific entity goals.
Right. So once that plan is in place, we move to phase 2, creating Credential. Building the actual stuff.
Exactly. And this is where the content strategy shifts dramatically. You're not just creating content for keywords anymore. You're creating assets that are so valuable, other people have to cite them.
How do you do that? What kind of content?
The #1 citation magnet. Original research. Don't just rehash existing stats. Generate new knowledge.
Like surveys.
Surveys are great. Or leverage your own platform's data anonymized, of course, to publish benchmarks. Something like State of AI Adoption in E-commerce. Insights from 1,000 stores. Or really detailed, data-rich case studies showing measurable results.
Okay, but isn't that kind of thing really expensive? Like, how does a small startup compete with, say, HubSpot's research budget?
That's a fair question, but it's about focus, not necessarily massive scale.
Yeah.
A startup might not do a huge global survey, but they can leverage their unique platform data that's proprietary and essentially free to them.
So play to your strengths.
Exactly. Look at Flexera. They publish that annual State of the Cloud report. It's one major high-quality asset, but it gets cited everywhere, even by AWS. They own that niche with one definitive piece. A startup might only need 1 or 2 really strong, referenceable flagship pieces.
Create the definitive guide, not just another blog post, okay? What about the credentialing part, making it credible for machines? Schema again?
Schema is absolutely non-negotiable here. It's the structured data layer. You need to use things like organization schema, article schema, maybe product schema, and implement them correctly.
What does organization schema do, for instance?
It explicitly tells Google things like, this is our official of company name, this is our logo URL, this is our founding date, our address. It feeds facts directly into the knowledge graph. Brands like Adobe or Dell use this well, which helps them show up reliably in AI results because the machine has clear, structured facts about them.
And making things easy to digest, like file formats.
Yes, definitely. Offer PDF downloads of reports. Put raw data sets on GitHub if appropriate. Provide transcripts for your videos or podcasts. Make it dead simple for a journalist, researcher, or even another algorithm to grab your data and cite it properly.
Okay, and then there's credentialing for humans. This links back to Google's EEAT concept, right? Expertise, authoritativeness.
Exactly. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. First up, authoritative authorship. Don't publish content under a generic admin or marketing team byline.
Put real expert names on it.
Yes. Feature your CPO with their PhD, your head of engineering, your subject matter experts. Put their credentials right there. That signals real expertise. And another thing, self-citing.
Citing yourself.
No, citing other reputable sources within your content. Reference Gartner reports, link to academic studies, mention McKinsey data. It shows you've done your homework and that your work exists within a credible professional conversation. Builds your own authority by association.
Makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, that leads us to the final phase. Phase 3, elevate and amplify. We've built the great citable assets. Now we need people to actually cite them.
Right. Now it's about strategic promotion, but with a twist. PR outreach is key, but you're not pitching your company announcement. You're pitching the data point or the insight from your research.
So instead of Acme AI launches new feature.
Its new Acme AI study reveals 60% of CIOs are boosting AI spend despite budget cuts. Lead with the newsworthy insight. That's what gets journalists interested and earns you that citation.
And being available as a source helps too.
Definitely. Use services like Ado, Help a Reporter Out, or Q-Woted. Journalists are constantly looking for expert quotes on deadlines. Get registered, respond quickly and insightfully when relevant requests come through. Become a go-to source.
And you mentioned something interesting earlier, even mentions without a link matter.
Yes, this is critical. Unlinked brand mentions are powerful entity signals now. If a major publication like the Wall Street Journal mentions your brand name, Acme AI, in an article about fintech risk management, Google systems see that connection. They strengthen the association between your brand entity and that topic, even if there's no hyperlink back to your site. Context is key.
Wow, okay, so the goal is building this overall knowledge graph footprint. What are the must-haves there?
You absolutely need a Wikidata item for your company. Wikidata is like the structured database behind Wikipedia. It feeds directly into Google's knowledge graph. It's where machines look first for objective facts.
Is a Wikipedia page necessary too?
A Wikipedia page is great if your company meets their notability guidelines, but it can be harder to get and maintain. Wikidata is more accessible and directly impactful for machine understanding. Start there, for sure.
And consistency again.
Absolutely vital. Maintain the exact same name, logo, description across all relevant industry databases, Crunchbase, G2, Capterra, specific industry association sites. Any inconsistency confuses the algorithms and dilutes your authority signals.
So when all this comes together, that's the flywheel effect.
That's the authority flywheel. Each high-quality citation makes you a stronger entity in the eyes of AI. That increased recognition leads to you being included in more AI-generated answers, which often leads to more organic citations from people who discover you that way. It starts compounding. You stop constantly pushing for visibility and start getting pulled into the conversation naturally.
That sounds like the ultimate goal. What are the tangible payoffs when you achieve this level of entity authority?
Well, the most obvious one is AI inclusion. The AI models will effectively be biased in your favor within your niche. They'll mention your brand, cite your research, recommend your solutions in their generated answers.
And it makes you more resilient.
Definitely. Strong entity authority is like a protective fortress. Google and other systems trust your entity. So even if you have minor technical SEO issues 1 month, or an algorithm update changes ranking factors slightly, your established authority provides a buffer. You're less volatile.
And finally, just pure influence, right?
Pure influence. You gain mind share. Your brand becomes synonymous with certain stats, concepts, or solutions in your field. It makes your startup seem larger, more established, more trustworthy than maybe your size would suggest. You shift from chasing prospects to attracting them because you're the recognized expert.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. The core message seems clear.
Yeah, to summarize, the digital world has shifted from search to suggest, from visibility to memory. To win now, your brand needs to be a recognized, citable entity. That means being cited by authoritative sources, having clean, structured data, and maintaining absolute consistency everywhere. That's how you get embedded in the digital knowledge graph.
Building this authority takes strategic effort, creating high-value content, doing proactive outreach, but the payoff is sustainable visibility and deep trust. So here's a final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
In this new AI-first world, the truly visible brands won't be the ones shouting the loudest with ads. They'll be the ones woven into the very fabric of knowledge that both machines and humans rely on.
Well said. Go out there and become the source everyone cites next.